Italiano word of the day for today, Friday, 23 January 2026 is Svincolare, which translates to English as disengage. And to disengage means kind of to distance and remove oneself from a kind of a situation. And so if somebody's being really hot, and it can be like physically removing oneself from a conversation, it can kind of like be a visual disengagement. So like, let's say I'm sitting in a classroom and the professor goes on a rant, and it's about something that it probably shouldn't be about. It's not about the course material. I might disengage from the professor by looking at my notes and making sure, like, is there anything I can, like, do I know what I read? Like, I might read my notes and like make any corrections if a letter isn't clear enough or something like that. So that's one type of disengaging. There's people who may be argumentative or confrontational in kind of a hostile kind of way. So just kind of stepping back and removing oneself from the situation, be that physically, be that like if in a work setting, returning to one's office as an example of just physically disengaging, removing oneself from the email chain, that kind of thing. And then also there's love, and there's falling in love, and I've opened myself to falling in love, and I know not everyone necessarily does that, and depending on what else exists in the world, you know, you might be like, you girl have got your hands full with your guys, and that's a way of putting it nicely. So if, like, let's say my Travis Kelce and my Gerbrand Cedar are out there talking about like each themselves and me, I do not necessarily disengage. That's like, if let's say they're publishing with my name actively and I can't see it or something, I choose not to engage with that publishing, right? Which is different than disengage. Disengage requires kind of having engaged in the first place, whereas that's like non-engagement with. Yeah. But it was in kind of a contrarian, I suppose, approach to me. My mom and my sister say they are in love with their man. However, they have not fallen in love. Instead, the relationship is treated in such a way to get away with anything. They disengage from the relationship by focusing instead on everything they can get away with, such as administering or spectating sexual abuse of another family member. And I'm like, I don't. That's their thing. That's not my thing. So I don't really pass judgment on that, to be 100% honest, which I know might like enrage some people. It's a different way of living. The choice to not fall in love with another. I think there's a lot of people who kind of treat love for like status or certain things they want in life, but they don't necessarily commit to the falling in love process, which some of you might be watching me and being like, yeah, you get stuff wrong, it's embarrassing, it looks tiring, and you're so it might not be the most desirable thing. So they kind of disengage from falling in love, even though they don't necessarily disengage from love. So there we go. In Italiano as svincolare, in English as disengage.